Zhang Yujun, a dairy farmer, and Gang Jingping, a milk salesman, were executed last Tuesday. 19 other people were sentenced to prison terms for their roles in the scandal, including the general manager of the dairy company Sanlu, which produced the formula. At least 6 children died and more than 300,000 were sickened after drinking Sanlu milk powder formula that had been mixed with the industrial chemical melamine. It's normally used to make plastics and fertilizers, and if consumed can cause kidney stones and kidney failure. Melamine, which like protein is high in nitrogen, was added to Sanlu's milk formula to fool inspectors into thinking it contained adequate levels of protein. When news of the scandal and the number of children involved emerged last September, it caused outrage. Thousands of parents rushed to hospitals to have their children tested, and protesters converged on Sanlu's headquarters demanding compensation. There were even accusations that the scandal was covered up until after the Olympic Games in Beijing, something the government has denied. Sanlu products were pulled from shelves across the country, and the sale of dairy products plummeted.
It's more than a year since the melamine scandal broke, and the shelves at this supermarket at least are stocked full of milk, cheese and yoghurt. The big question for the industry is, how confident are Chinese consumers in the country's dairy products?
The parents we spoke to are once again buying dairy products for their children, but they've come up with their own ways of trying to keep their kids safe.
I was really worried when the news of this came out because I give milk powder to my kid, but I went online to check the reputation of the brand that I use. People said it was okay, so I was relieved.
I only use baby powder imported from the US for my kid.
China has tightened regulations since the scandal broke. The government implemented a new food safety law in June this year, and inspections have been increased. Peter Ben-Mbarak, head of food safety in China for the World Health Organization, says the improvements have been significant.
It's true that the crisis last year was a wake-up call for everybody, including the authorities in China, and that has speed up the process that was already ongoing in terms of strengthening the entire food safety system in China.
Mbarak, who was posted to China 3 months ago, is the first and only WHO food safety expert sent to specifically monitor a country's food industry, a measure of how seriously the organization is now taking food safety here.
They have increased immediately after the crisis last year, increased the scheme of testing, control, inspections along the entire dairy food chain.
Mbarak says the huge growth in China's food industry is behind many of the quality problems. Chinese food exports have increased in value from $4.5 billion in 1986 to $25.7 billion in 2006.
Very rapid growth in terms of quantity and diversity has not been matched by a similar development of the public sector control and inspection system, because the growth has been so rapid and so fast.
The key, says Mbarak, will be ensuring that the new law is actually acted on.
Having a new food safety law is not enough. We also need to implement it and put it in practice. It's not enough only to address a particular contaminant or a particular issue or a particular failure of an entire system. It's very important to really bring the entire system up to a higher level.
Until that happens, many consumers, like this mum, will keep using their own checks to try to ensure the products they're buying are safe.
I check dairy products online before I buy them to make sure they have a good reputation.
Tom Mackenzie, BO.